Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the results of both TNA's Against All Odds and AAA's TripleMania, along with a full recap of WWE Clash at the Castle. And yeah, don't worry, we'll get to that one in a little bit. So strap in, sit back, relax, and let's get into this one as I go over the results of TNA Against All Odds. Start off, Steve Macklin and Mike Santana defeating the Rascals. That's Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. So it looks like they're going to be continuing their feud. PCO beat Rich Swann. Don't know why this is on pay-per-view. Sorry, Mr. Swan. The System, that's Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, successfully defend their TNA Tag Team titles against the Nemeth brothers. That's Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, and his brother Ryan, who have gotten some notoriety in AEW, now teaming for the first time in TNA, which is crazy. Frankie Kazarian beat Rich Swann via the pinfall, with a little help from Ace Steel, which I can't believe he's getting TV time. Mustafa Ali successfully defends his X Division title against Trent Seven. The ABC, that's Ace and Bay, defeat Eric Young and Josh Alexander. In an open challenge match, Jordynne Grace successfully defends her TNA Tag Knockouts title against Tatum Paxley of NXT. So that door's opening a little bit more. And Fine Alamo, we got Broken Rules match for the TNA title as Moose successfully defends his title against Broken Matt Hardy. Got a post-match beatdown, which leads to the return of Brother Nero, aka Jeff Hardy. So, definitely an interesting way to go for TNA. Let's see how they do. And now we go to AAA's TripleMania Tijuana. This is leg 2 of TripleMania, because TripleMania is now 3 nights, apparently. So, we start off 8-person tag match as Team AAA, that's Fabi Apache, Pimpala Escalala, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Nino Hamburguesa, my dude, and Mr. Iguana defeat Team Crash, that's Anubis, Kira, Mamba, and Toto. I do hope I'm pronouncing those right. In 6-woman tag action, you have Team TNA, that's Tasha Steele, Havoc, and Rosemary. They defeat Las Toxicas, that's Lady Flammer, La Hydra, and Lady Marvea. I can't believe I'm saying this like this. In a 3-way trios match, you have Team Crash, that's Deluxe, Nosy Boy, and Destiny, defeat Team AAA, that's Commander, Laredo Kid, and Octagon Jr., and Team Rest of the World. Now listen to this team. You'll have Seema from OVE, which is in Japan, I think it is. Or maybe it's China. Nick Wayne of AEW, and Willie Mack, who has predominantly been in AAA. Then we get a 3-way dance, triple threat match, as Mecha Wolf beats Rey Horus and Bestia 666, which, that's his regular tag team partner. I guess they're not tag partners anymore? That's weird. Next, in a straight-up trios match, you'll have La Secta de Messias So that's El Macias. If you remember his run in TNA, he was Judas Macias, who was like Abyss's little brother. As he teams with Dark Sosa and Dark Escudero. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As they beat La Secta Cybernetica. That's Cybernetico, Dark Cuevo, and Dark Oz. So, interesting trios match. Another trios match. AAA loves their trios matches. As Team Crash, that's Dr. Wagner Jr., Ganeo del Mal, and El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., so a father and son tag team, as they beat Team AAA. So that's Negro Casas, Psycho Clown, and Brazo de Orzo Jr. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I don't. And finally, our main event. It's 8-man tag team match. And it's part of Vampiro's retirement tour. As it's Team USA, that's QT Marshall, Sam Adonis, Parker Boudreaux, and Satnam Singh beat Vampiro, Alberto El Patron, and Dave the Clown and Clown of Los Psycho Circus. Definitely an interesting event. We'll see what that last leg looks like. Yeah, I don't really follow AAA that much, but definitely an interesting card. That is for sure. Alright, that is that done. We now move right into the full review of WWE Clash at the Castle. And oh boy, this show is, or at least my review of it, is going to be a little controversial. I'll get to it. But we start off with the undisputed WWE title match under I Quit rules. Now what that means is there's no pinfall, no DQ. The only way you win is to get your opponent to say the words, I quit. Now that's either with submissions, with weapons, threats to family members, like what happened to Edge with Judgment Day a couple years ago. So, yeah, let's get into this match as AJ Styles challenges Cody Rhodes. And it starts out pretty normal for a match. And then Cody gets a table, sets it up. AJ Styles attacks Cody Rhodes on the outside, gets in Mama Rhodes' face, who is sitting ringside. Pretty much use all the weapons. They use chairs, kendo sticks. At one point, AJ handcuffed Cody's hands behind his back, a la Royal Rumble 98, 97, I think it was, where, The Rock did that to Mankind and scrambled his brains pretty much with a chair. So I was getting flashbacks to that. And no, I do not recommend watching that match. That was brutal. Then it looked like AJ was going to set up the announce table for something. And then Mama Rhodes spots again, gets into AJ's face, gives him a slap, which that looks like it hurt. Then AJ puts Cody in a hardcore necktie, which chair around the neck, knee drop on the chair, which, good lord, that looked like it hurt. One point, AJ had an extra chain, wraps it around his arm, going for the phenomenal forearm, but as AJ was about to springboard, Cody gets a chair, throws it right into his face. AJ falls into the table that was set up earlier. So, that was definitely interesting. At one point, AJ gets Cody in a crossface. Cody passes out, but then he revives just in time. Cody then finds the key to the handcuffs, unlocks himself. Then what he does is very interesting. Sets up a chair in the middle of the ring. Couple of crossroads. Asks AJ if he quits. AJ says no. Then Cody grabs the handcuffs, cuffs him to the middle rope in the corner somewhere, or maybe he just moves to the corner. Goes to the outside, picks up the steel steps from ringside, brings it in the ring, picks it up again. Looks like he's gonna belt AJ with it. AJ immediately quits. So your winner, still WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. And then post-match, Cody gets in the step shot anyway, in which, what's the point? And as Cody's walking up the ramp, he's got the title in his hand. You see someone come out from backstage. It's Solo Sikoa. He's doing the slow golf clap. Cody and Solo lock eyes. And then, again, out from the back is Tama Tonga Tangaloa. They start a beatdown on Cody. And Kevin Owens and Randy Orton make the save. And as we see the surviving baby faces celebrating, you get a quick glance of Randy Orton looking at the WWE title. So, this is going to be interesting for me. I did not like that finish. It was just abrupt, and it felt like there was not really that much drama there, you know? I would have liked to see the Good Brothers get involved. They were involved in the fake retirement. Why wouldn't they be involved here? Somehow. I don't know. It just feels a little weird. The post-match angle I did like. But I gotta tell you, I have zero interest in seeing Cody versus Solo or Cody versus Orton. And my reasoning, Solo has kind of done nothing in WWE right now. He's been eating losses since he squashed John Cena last year. Solo needs some big wins, and some big wins fast. And then Randy, I know Cody and Randy have that history. They were in this crew together, Legacy, which is one of my favorite groups of all time. Maybe not of all time, but in more recent times. But, yeah, I really have no interest in seeing any of these guys get title opportunities. Anyway, overall, match was fine, but the angle that finished the match was a little weak in my mind. Next up, we got the women's tag team titles on the line as Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, along with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, challenge Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And at first, Fire, Dawn, Baszler, and Stark worked together to take out the baby faces for a while. Eventually, they did turn on each other. They start fighting. Bianca and Jade get back into it. And, on a hot tag, there was this really weird moment where Jade was going for her springboard move out of the corner, but she clearly slipped. Now, I'm not going to blame her at all. Accidents happen. But that top ring rope should have been a little tighter. Anyway, then we get dueling suplexes. It looked like Bianca was going for the cover. However, Isla Dawn sneaks in, hits a big old DDT, covers Shayna Baszler to pick up the win for your new women's tag team champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. This was a big surprise to me because I thought they were going to be the ones eating the pin because they lost on the Go Home Raw edition of, the Go Home Raw to this show. And, I thought they were just going to have a nice little moment in front of their hometown crowd. But they get an even better one because they win the tag team titles, which is nice. I like that a real tag team finally has these titles, and we can go forward with Jade and Bianca potentially breaking up. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, we go from that to this absolute war, as it's for the Intercontinental title, as we have Sami Zayn taking on Chad Gable. And oh boy, they threw everything at each other in this matchup. One point you did say, Gable, go to the outside, talking it over with the Alpha Academy, minus Tozawa for whatever reason. I hope he's okay. They get back in. At one point, Gable tosses Sami Zayn to the outside, pulls the ref away. Looks like Otis was about to strike Sami Zayn. Maxine kind of pulls his arm away, stops him. Then, about middle of the match, Chad Gable takes the Intercontinental title, gives it to Maxine. He kind of puts him into a place where Maxine would potentially hit him. Then Maxine hesitates. She can't do it. So Chad Gable tells her to get up on the apron. She does. She's yelling at him for a little bit. He's yelling at her for a little bit. Sami Zayn goes for a haluva kick. Chad Gable moves. Sami Zayn stops short of Maxine. Chad Gable then with a chaos theory. I thought that was going to be the finish. Then we see Chad Gable get out of the ring, get in Maxine's face for a minute, and then Otis slides between them. It looks like he's about to finally give Chad Gable what he's due. And then Sami Zayn goes for a dive. Chad Gable pulls Otis in the way. Otis takes the brunt of it. Chad Gable with a moonsault to the outside. Gets Sami Zayn back in the ring. Goes for a moonsault. Whiffs. Sami Zayn with a corner suplex. Sami Zayn set up for the haluva kick. Chad Gable rolls to the outside. Sami Zayn follows him. Sami Zayn into the announce table. And then Chad Gable locks in an ankle lock on the outside while Sami's on the barricade. Zayn eventually gets Gable into a position where he's out, kicks him off into Maxine Dupree, who is checking on Otis, and Gable pretty much gives him a chop block, confounding her injury. Maxine's is out there in a walking boot, which is insane. And then you see Otis and Gable do like the cartoon looking at each other for a minute. Otis definitely wants to hit Sami at this point. He hesitates. And then Otis picks up Maxine, kind of like what he did to Mandy Rose back in the day. What kind of slowly walks to the back. Chad Gable's in the ring. He's fuming. Eats a haluva kick. Your winner, and still Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. As much as I don't like Chad Gable losing this match, I'm okay with it because I see the vision. So tonight, or in the coming weeks, we see Chad Gable blow the Alpha Academy up, sends Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine to the shed out back, brings in the Creed brothers. That's where he wins the Intercontinental title, which could be at SummerSlam. I don't know where you would do this. Would you do another match with Sammy and Gable so soon? Do you leave it for another time? Like, do you do it on Raw? What do you do here? And I think it's interesting, because there's clearly a story here. So with this, I'm going to trust the system as much as I wanted Chad Gable to win. I am not super mad at it. Am I a little annoyed? Sure. But overall, I'll let it slide for now. Then we get the WWE Women's title match as Bayley defends against Piper Niven. And Piper just goes off. Like, jeez. This was definitely the Piper Niven show at the start. At one point, you see Chelsea Green go for a cheap shot on Bayley. Then at one point, Chelsea Green does grab Bayley by the leg. And the referee sees this, throws her out of the match. But wait until later. So it definitely felt like more of a back and forth match. You see Bayley hit a superplex on Piper Niven. Then out from the back comes what I can only describe as Chelsea Verde, aka Chelsea Green, in a replica Rey Mysterio mask. And it is... oh, it's funny. So Chelsea Verde gets up on the apron, starts arguing with the ref. Piper Niven with a Piper driver. Jeez, that looked rough. Only for a 2 count. Goes for what I'm going to call a Vader bomb. Misses. But then hits a black hole slam, which that was kind of nutty. Niven then goes for a senton. Completely whiffs. Bayley with the rose plant. That gets blocked. Piper with a... they dual headbutts. Bayley with the roll up. So you're aware it's Bayley. And I'm going to say this. Piper Niven put up a great showing. Especially in front of her hometown. I do hope in the near future she does get that title win. Because I think she absolutely deserves it. Like, she showed she can stand on her own 2 feet and be a great wrestler. Like, holy heck. And complete MVP of this match is Chelsea Green / Chelsea Verde for pulling off that great little stunt. I love that. Easily, I think one of the better wrestling matches of the night, with a fun little angle kind of near the end. And then we go to this last match, our main event of the evening, and it's for the World Heavyweight title as Damian Priest defends against Glasgow's own Drew McIntyre. And this match was, well, I'm going to say it was a hoss fight. Just each guy landing bigger and bigger blows, bigger and bigger shots. Including a Michinoku driver by Priest, in which he only gets a 2 count. At one point, Drew throws Priest into the Prime hydration station. If you didn't know, Prime is now a sponsor of WWE, which I completely hate. Priest going for a South of Heaven. That gets blocked into a Future Shock DDT, only for a 2 count. Drew going for a White Noise off the top rope. That gets blocked into a Razor's Edge, only for a 2 count. And then you get this very unfortunate moment where Priest was going for a dive over the top rope. His leg gets completely caught in the top and middle ropes. So he kind of hangs by his leg. And it looked like he hit his head on the apron. Because that was a really bad bump. So Drew takes advantage. He gets... It's a Glasgow kiss. A Claymore kick through the barricade. Which, that was awesome. Gets him back in. Goes for a Claymore. That gets blocked. South of Heaven chokeslam. Only for a 2 count. They start fighting back and forth again. Priest with a Rana from the top rope with his leg. Jeez, that's crazy. Drew goes for a Claymore. That gets kicked. Caught. Priest with a powerbomb. Goes for the South of Heaven. But then at one point we get a ref bump. Meaning ref gets taken out of the ring. Drew ends up covering Priest while asking a new ref to come out. New ref comes out, but we don't initially see who it is, because we just see it from the high entranceway. Slides into the ring, never see his face. He counts 1, 2. He goes for number 3. He stops. And then we get that turn to face. It's CM Punk giving Drew the finger. Drew backs him into the corner. Punk hits Drew with the low blow. Punk then leaves. South of Heaven from Priest. So your winner, Damian Priest. And pretty much like Scotland at the time, I pretty much thought Drew McIntyre was going to win. Am I still a little pissed off about that? Absolutely. Last year's Clash, he got screwed by Solo. This year at WrestleMania, he got screwed by Priest. Now he gets screwed by Punk. However, I do see the vision here as well. And hopefully this vision ends with Punk getting his head Claymored clear off of his body. Not saying I want Drew to kill him, but I want Drew to beat down Punk as badly as possible. And you know what? One stipulation we haven't had in a while? Hell in a Cell. So, I think that's where we're going. Am I still a little annoyed that Punk inserted himself in this match? Especially when he's not cleared to compete? Absolutely. That pisses me off. However, I do see the vision. I understand what's going on. Do I necessarily like it? No. I wish Drew just won the title. I think he would have been a more interesting champion over Priest, who has needed help to retain his title in all his defenses. So, yeah, I'm less pissed off now. I am willing to see where this goes, and that starts tonight on Raw as we build towards Money in the Bank, which that's going to be a fun one. I can't wait for that one. Overall, wrestling overall on the show was really, really good, despite some really scary spots. But there are some booking decisions that I did not love. So, I think this is overall I think this is going to be one of the worst PLEs under Triple H. So hopefully we get to finish some of these stories very, very soon. And that will do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed. So no recap of SmackDown, Rampage, or Collision this week. I had some alternate plans. So instead, I think Wednesday what I'm going to do is I'm going to delve into somewhere I haven't in a while. And that's the MCU. I'm going to talk about the things I'm excited to see in both, not just in the movies, but in the TV shows as well. And until then, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.